We have 1-week-old Australian Labradoodle puppies. In today's video, we are going to show you each of these puppies individually. And we're going to let you know, did they meet that first milestone of doubling their birth weight already? Or are they going to keep us waiting a little longer? And we also have some really exciting news because we now know which puppies are red and which puppies are caramel. Hi, I'm Claire from Unveiled Labradoodles, and these petite Labradoodle puppies have been doing fabulously. Mama Raven is just looking after them so well, aren't you, baby? She's doing a really good job. This is her second litter, so she's feeling very confident, self-assured. She's happy to go outside of the box from time to time and have a little rest where she gets a little mummy time, a little me time rather than mummy time. And you can see, look at these puppies. They are lovely and plump, and they've got gleaming coats, and look at the strength that they have at the milk bar here. This is what I call our tiny warrior, Mr. Green Collar. He's the smallest puppy in the litter, and look at him go. He's just having no problem there at the milk bar. So this is what we like to see in the first week with our Labradoodle puppies, because the most important thing for these puppies this first week is to grow and to become stronger. And when we see puppies with this much strength, this much energy, and this type of shiny coat, we know everything is going well. These puppies are thriving. In fact, they're doing so well that we have turned the heat down in here, so it's a little bit more comfortable for Mama Raven. You can see she's not panting right now. She may pant throughout the video because you get really hot when you have all these little puppy bodies right up against you. And there she goes. And lactating is a lot of work. So because it's so much work for Raven, she eats a lot more. So right now, normally Raven would eat 4 ounces for breakfast and 4 ounces for dinner. And right now she's eating 4 times a day. And at each of those meals, she's having about 12 ounces. So you can tell that each meal is 3 times what she normally eats. Plus, instead of eating twice a day, she's eating 4 times a day. So it's a huge increase of calories that she has. And if you look at her here, you'll see there's no ribs sticking out. There's no backbone protruding. Her hips aren't sticking out. And that's because she is in beautiful condition. You can tell a lot about how the health and well-being of a puppy is going to be, or is at that time, by looking at the mom dog. If you have a mom dog that's really skinny with their ribs showing, hello sweetheart, their hips jutting out, then you know that that dog is not in good shape. Because if mom doesn't have enough nutrition or isn't healthy, it doesn't matter for the puppies. They'll just take everything they can from her. But mom herself will be the one who suffers. Her coat is beautiful. It's plush. There's no hair falling out on this dog. Again, pregnant dogs and lactating dogs should not have big hunks of fur coming out. Yes, they will tend to lose a little bit more fur than normal. These are non-shedding dogs, of course, or as non-shedding as they can be. It's not accurate to say they're 100% non-shedding, because that doesn't exist for any mammal. There's always some hair loss. But generally speaking, as you can see, I can do this, and there's no hair flying around. You won't find any hair on my skirt here. So she's not having big amounts of fur coming out. Sometimes in dogs that are not in prime condition, when they have puppies, you'll see bald patches or a whole lot of hair swirling around when they're petted. And that's again because they're not really getting the nutrition they need. So not only does Raven have all of her nutritional needs met in terms of quantity, obviously we also need the quality. And we have to address what's going on here when these puppies are taking so much from her throughout the day. And so we supplement her. We give her a multivitamin. Even though her diet is complete and balanced, we give her a multivitamin, and we give her, most importantly, a mineral supplement. And for our dogs, when they have puppies, the only time we use this product, and the product we use is Dr. Tobias Soul Food and Green Min. These are supplements that are made from whole food and then reduced to a powder format. They're not synthetic vitamins. They're not made from this, that, and the other thing and then put together and said, oh, here you go, we have enough B, C, D, E here. Nope, they're actual real food that is then crushed and made into a powder. Is it as good as getting those vitamins from food? Absolutely not. Always, whenever something's been manipulated, it's going to be second best. But she is getting all of those things in her own food. She has the fruits and vegetables in her diet that will give her those vitamins. This is extra. This is a boost. That's to deal with this and all of her little hungry mouths that she has to look after. So we maintain Raven in just as good shape as the puppies. We don't want our moms to be losing weight. We don't want them to be losing a beautiful coat, the glisten in their eyes. We don't want them to be compromised in any way at all. We want them to be just as healthy, if not indeed even healthier, when they have puppies than when they don't. The other thing that the puppies get, or not the puppies, rather the mums get every day is an omega-3 supplement, and it's seal oil that they have. And we don't worry about omega-6. There's tons of omega-6 occurring in their diet. We don't need to add to that at all and overload that. It's just the omega-3. And right now, normally, Raven would have a whole sardine. She has sardines in her freeze-dried food, and that gives her those omegas. That's the extra, because it's important that we rotate the diet. So we have beef, lamb, chicken, turkey, and then we have fish in there as well. We have sardines, we have salmon, and we have mackerel that she's eating. And she actually has another fish called hoki. I hope I'm saying that right. It's H-O-K-I. And that's a freeze-dried product that we get from New Zealand. It is a lamb, and there is a lamb and king salmon combo, and then there is a beef and the hoki combo. I love this freeze-dried food. Unfortunately, it's prohibitively expensive. We do not feed it to our dogs ever unless they have puppies. Then we do give it to them because it is a really nice food. It has that lovely combination of a red protein and the fish in it, and the dogs just love it. It's also in a format that doesn't need to be rehydrated. It's a very small, it almost looks like kibble. So we're able to leave that out overnight without any risk of contamination. That way, if our moms are hungry during the night, even though they've had all their meals, they can graze and they can eat whatever they like during the evening. So we've got all of their needs covered there. We keep very close watch on their weight and their overall body condition. Again, not just because that's really vital for the puppies, but because it's so important for mom. So Raven's enjoying eating everything. She is eating everything, although I can tell you when she has her puppy love freeze-dried, there's blueberries in there. Those are never eaten. They are spat out on the floor. And it's no thank you very much. But her great-grandma Peanut, who lives with us, she's more than happy to clean that up for her great-granddaughter here. It's pretty funny how some dogs have very particular things that they just don't like. And for Raven, that's blueberries. So that's fine. We don't worry about it too much. We have enough things in other foods that she's eating, so she's not lacking any of the benefits that blueberries give to us. So she's got lots of energy. She's ready to get up and go whenever we come and let her out. We do restrict where our moms go outside. And the reason for that is we live in a rural area and we have so many rabbits, and of course we have lots of rabbit poop, and we also have a lot of deer. Occasionally we have a bear or a cougar, but we don't usually see those. They're off somewhere a little bit further away from where we are. But oh goodness me, there's got a little choking going on here. There we go. But the rabbits are everywhere, as are quail. There is coccidia in rabbit poo. Rabbits are the biggest carrier of coccidia. Now, coccidia normally does not bother an adult dog. About 35% of the dog population has coccidia all the time. These dogs are completely asymptomatic. It doesn't bother them. It's something that they can absorb and their bodies can deal with, provided they are being fed a good diet and their microbiome is in balance and they have a robust immune system. But when you're a little teeny itty bitty puppy like this, your immune system is just barely beginning to function. So if we have coccidia, these puppies would not be able to actually deal with that on their own. Now, would the puppies die? Yes, if you just left them. What happens when they have coccidia is they have diarrhea. They also become very lethargic. They will sometimes stop nursing. They tend to get a little bit cold. And they present as what we call dumpy, and then they go from that to flat. When they're flat, it's just like it says. They're flat out, no interest in eating, they do nothing. And that is a puppy that's trying really hard to die. So there's drugs though that you can give puppies that are safe when they're this little, that don't have long-term impacts, that will fight the coccidia. It's just really important that you recognize it very quickly as a breeder, otherwise you will start losing your puppies. So how do they get this coccidia? Well, mom will go and either walk through the rabbit poop, or she'll eat some of it and come in and lick the puppies. The puppies will be near her feet. She'll lick her feet, lick her puppy. The puppy will lick her feet. That's really easy to be transmitted. And puppies, if they do pick up coccidia, it tends to impact them quite quickly. And I can tell you, as soon as you walk in the room, you'll know. The odor from the diarrhea is very distinct. And once you've smelled it, you'll never forget it again. So we've had some puppies who've had coccidia, and as a result, we've changed our routine a few years ago. Excuse me. Sorry, did that scare you? So now we don't let our dogs go out in the back. We restrict them to the front because there is less rabbit traffic out the front. And that's to try and lessen the chance of the puppies getting coccidia. Thank you for worrying about me. This is what you find in this line. This is what we call a therapy temperament dog. When I'm coughing, she's immediately alert to that, looking at me, establishing that I'm going to be all right. Thank you so much. And she's not too worried about her puppies or herself. She's much more worried that something has happened to me. There you go. Let's just get this one puppy here. There we go. So the puppies, you can tell, are all thriving. We don't have any issues with coccidia. They're all just doing exactly what they should be doing. Everybody's on track. Really all they do in this first week is eat, sleep, and repeat. And they are all very quiet, which is lovely. When you have puppies that are this age and they're quiet, then you know their tummies are full, they're warm, all their needs are being met. They can't see, and they also can't hear. And they cannot go to the bathroom on their own yet. And they cannot regulate their body temperature. They really can't do very much. They are completely dependent on Raven for everything. So right now, the only sense they have that is functioning is their sense of smell. And the way they find Raven is because their nose have heat sensors in them. And those heat sensors tell them, oh, it's over here that I need to go. The milk bar's here, mom's here, my brothers and sisters are here. That's how they find each other. And interestingly, if one of them somehow becomes separated from the group, they turn in a clockwise manner usually to try and get their nose to pick up the heat from where the others are. So if a puppy is way far away, so if we have one of these little tiny ones, everybody was here and we had a puppy way over in the far corner of the whelping box, then we would have a puppy that would start to cry, because chances are that puppy would not be able to pick up the heat sensing that they needed to find their way back to where everybody else is. And Raven, if she had everybody here and one puppy on the other side, Raven would not leave the bulk of her litter to attend to that one puppy. This is instinctive. You look after where the majority of the puppies are and who has the best chance to survive. So when we hear a puppy crying and they don't stop within a couple of seconds, we're in here right away to take that puppy and put them back if they've become lost. It doesn't happen very often. It's usually only if Raven has been out or if she's getting up and turning over or walking around and she decides to go to a different area and somebody just wasn't facing the right way when all this happened. But she's such a good mom. Yes, you're a very good girl. She does a great job and it almost never happens. So now we're going to talk about this week's important milestone, and that's whether or not the puppies have doubled their birth weight. And why is that important? This is the foundation for them, and what we really get excited about is if we have puppies who double their birth weight in the first week. What we're looking for is for it to happen within the first 10 to 14 days. But if it happens in the first 7, we're woohoo, yahoo. Now, does it mean there's something wrong with the puppy or it's weak or something's not going to be right with the puppy later on if they haven't doubled their birth weight? Absolutely not. Usually the ones that have the biggest weight gain tend to be the puppies who end up being the larger puppies at the end of the day. That's not always the case, but that can be an indication of a puppy who is going to reach their full potential and possible growth. Whereas one who's lagging behind a little bit for the first week is maybe got the potential to be that same size, but they're not going to get there just because it's taking them longer to double their birth weight. And there's nothing that we worry about unless a puppy is not gaining weight consistently. We weigh them every day. We have an app that tells us what % of their body weight they're gaining. We don't get concerned about anything unless we have a puppy who is at less than 5%. If they are lower than 5%, then we're going to start supplementing that puppy to get them up to there. What we really like to see is 8%. And sometimes in Raven's litter here, we see numbers that are as as high as 16%. One of these puppies gained 16% in the last 24 hours. The one that and there is one that gained 5%. And like I said, 5% is fine, but if we're less than 5%, then we're going to take a look at it. And when I have a puppy who is at 5%, I'll go back to the day before and look and see what that puppy did the day before. And in this instance, the day before, that puppy gained 16%. So I'm not in the least bit concerned about it. I just think that, oh, that's all right. They had a day where they gained a lot, and now today they're not going to reach that same number. Totally normal. So we'll check their weights out in just a sec. Before we do that, we're going to do a little bit of exciting exploring here. So the way we tell if this dog, this dog, this dog, this dog, and this dog are red, apricot, or caramel is by the color of what we call their leathers. Leathers are their noses, their lips, the rims of their eyes, and their feet. If their pads are brown, they're a caramel. If their pads are black, their nose will then be black, and they'll either be an apricot or a red dog. If they have brown pads and they look this color, which is red, then we're going to call them a red caramel. Now, this does not translate to every breed. This is only for Australian Labradoodles. This is as per the breed standard for an Australian Labradoodle. So we can't see what color their noses are yet because they're still pink. But here's a little giveaway right here. Look at this. We've got one of these puppies, and look at those black feet. So we know this puppy is red, and this puppy is silver color. So this puppy is a red puppy. This puppy has mostly pink pads, but this little teeny itty bitty bit of color we can see here, this is brown. So this puppy is a caramel. And you can see compared to this puppy, it's almost a golden beige color. So this puppy is a caramel, not a red caramel. This puppy over here, we're going to just get the little foots out because it's really easy to see the feet when they're doing this. And you can see there, that is also brown feet, not black. You can see there's quite a difference in the color if you can see those feet. So this puppy is a caramel. This puppy is darker compared to this puppy, so this puppy is probably going to be a red caramel. This one here, red color, we're going to take a look at her feet. And I can tell you that is a black pad that she's got there. She's just got the one. And if we look at her and we look at her face, I can see just a little hint of black starting to come in here. And if I look in her lips, I can't see anything. It's going to take longer for hers to show up because she is a party, or he rather. Sorry, I keep calling you her again. You're a boy. Because he is a party. So when they're parties, the color on their leathers takes a little while longer to come in. But that one little pad there that he doesn't like to show me right now, where is it now? There it is, that one little toe, the one little special toe. Yes, thank you very much. Means that this dog here is going to be an apricot party. He's going to have a black nose. And if you look carefully at his ear here, this is also a giveaway because you can see the rim of the ear is black. It's not a brown color. They both are very distinctly black. So this is an apricot party. And then last, green collar here, brown. So green collar is a caramel, a red caramel. And green looks so tiny next to blue here. Blue with his chunky tail. We look at him, look at that. We've got black. Oh, he stopped eating. Good, I can borrow him for a minute. Hi, sweetheart. We've definitely got black on these feet. And if we look on his face, we can already see the black coming in on his nose. And we can see the black on his ears there. So Mr. Blue is definitely also going to be an apricot. So he's an apricot, not a red, because when we put him over here, you can see a totally different color. So now I have Mr. Blue. We can do their weights. And Mr. Blue is today 502 grams, and he has gained 111% of his body weight. This is a very chunky puppy. He is very solid. He has large feet, and even his tail is thick. He is a nice hunk of puppy. Oh, and you can see there he showed you his little black lips as well. So Mr. Blue, we now know, is an apricot dog. Yes. Oh, somebody's having a complaint. It's red collar over here. He went the wrong way after I put him down. There you go. There you go. Oh, my goodness gracious. What a fuss. So that's Mr. Blue. Oh, no. Okay. There we go. There we go. Don't want to get you all in excitement there. And then we've got Miss Pink Color Girl, who's over here. And she is eating right now, but we'll just interrupt her. And you can see, of course, her feet are black and her nose will be black because she is, just like her mama, a beautiful black phantom. Gorgeous markings on this little girl, really striking. And look at that cute little pink tongue. Now, Miss Pink is quite a bit smaller, as you can see, than Mr. Blue. And Miss Pink weighs 325 grams. She's at 96% of her birth weight. So I think we'll just give her that 4% and say that, yeah, you did it, baby. You got it. You can see that she's petite. She is going to be a smaller puppy than Blue. There's absolutely no doubt about that. She is a much smaller frame than he does. She's not that big, hefty kind of dog that Blue is. Then we have Black Collar. Oops, that's not you. You're Black Collar. Wrong one. Here we go. Black collar is one of the ones that we looked at, and black collar's got the brown pads, and you can even see on his lip here, you can definitely see there's brown. You can see his ears are quite different. On the rims there's brown, there's not the black. Oh, and our Raven's going to go take a little break. Do you want to get out? Mommy move her foot for you? Or are you going to help me read this? Okay. You help me read this. That's a good girl. Mr. Black is 356 grams, and he is at 90% of his birth weight. So I will not give him that whole 10%. But you can tell by looking at him, he's nice and plump. He's a juicy puppy. His tummy's full, nice and round. He's not lacking anything in terms of his body condition. He just hasn't gotten to the point where he's ready, or she rather. Sorry, I'm getting the he's and she's mixed up. Those are the girl. Those are the little girl. Yes, you are. Reynolds changed the colors that we usually use for boys and girls, so that's why I keep getting confused. Normally blacks are boys and reds are girls, so I keep getting it all mixed up. Yes, thank you for the kiss. I love you too. So Miss Black collar is at 90%, and she is 356 grams. Now listen, Missy, everybody wants to see the puppies, so let's have you sit over here, okay? There we go, because everybody wants to see your babies. Yes, because you made such beautiful babies. Now we have Red collar. Red collar, who we were looking at before, and is not a girl. Red collar, who's a boy, and is an apricot party. Yes, I know, and we love you too. Raven likes to be the center of attention, so we'll just modify how we're doing things here. Mr. Red is a little bit unhappy with things, so I'm not going to hold him up for too long. He's getting a little worked up, and we don't want him to be unhappy. But I think he feels like he got gypped at the milk bar. You can get out, okay? Or if not, how about you sit down so everybody can see? How about if we let Mr. Red have a turn at the milk bar? Yeah, because he kind of was late to the party, and he sounds like he's hungry. Is that okay with you? Yeah, thank you. Oh, look at that, good girl. So Red is 372 grams, and he is at 110% of his birth weight. So we'll just take that 10% maybe and even it all out. Next we have Yellow collar. Yellow collar is our only chocolate in the litter. Here, you stay there, okay? Let Red eat. Good girl. He is a chocolate party, and this is another nice big chunky puppy. He's very similarly built to Blue collar, very solid, got a beautiful square head. Love his asymmetrical markings, really handsome little dude here. And Mr. Yellow is 436 grams, and guess what his gain is? 124% of his birth weight. He doesn't have any trouble getting to his maximum potential. That is a lot of weight gain in the first week for a little guy. Yeah, good job, Mr. Yellow. Oh, poor Mr. Oh, there we go. Mr. Red's got himself a nice place there. Then we go, and Mr. Yellow is, no, he's not the biggest. Now we go to the smallest puppy, and that's Green, who's 287 grams. Just a little tiny guy. This is my tiny warrior. I hope you really enjoyed the video we posted on Facebook of him nursing and just showing you, oh my gosh, he is the most tenacious, tough character. Oh, he has some personality, this little guy. And Mr. Green, who is a red caramel, he has gained 83% of his birth weight. So he's down towards the bottom of it, but he is doing just fine. Oh goodness, Red is really upset with Raven. As you can hear, he's just really giving her the gears here. He wants you to lie down, hon. There, okay, shh. He's latched on, so I think he's just trying to tell her how unhappy he was that he missed out the first time. Or he may be at a faucet that's been depleted, and he's complaining about that. Next we have Silver collar. Yeah, you just don't want to sit down, do you? And this is Silver collar. So Silver collar is one of the puppies that is clearly a red, because you can see that black nose is really filling in quickly. Mr. Silver collar is 432 grams, and he has gained 108% of his birth weight. So he is doing just fabulously. And then last but not least is White Collar. And White Collar, whose collar never looks particularly white, this is my favorite color. I love a gleaming ebony who has these beautiful white highlights. Just so handsome and pretty. What are you now? You are a boy. A handsome, handsome dude. Just gorgeous. I love the white feet. And Mr. White is 521 grams. And he's gained the most of anyone. 135%. That's amazing. 135% of your body weight in the first 7 days of your life. I don't know if he does anything besides eat. Oh, Mr. Red. There we go. Sometimes puppies get themselves worked into a state. Mr. Red is clearly thinking he's not having things the way he wants. So our biggest puppy in the litter is Mr. White, who we just saw, which isn't surprising, at 521 grams. Okay, we got a little cough here. So Raven was sitting up, he was lying down, and obviously he got some milk, went down the wrong way. So when this happens with a puppy, the first thing we want to do is put their head down and have everything towards coming out, and then we give a gentle pat on the back, and there we seem to be okay now because you're squawking again. Oh my goodness, you're just in a miserable mood today. Yeah. So that's our biggest puppy, is White Collar, and he gained 16% today. And our smallest is Green Collar, and he gained 7% today. So that is all our puppies, and that's our update for this week. And we had quite a lot of talking going on this week with Mr. Red here making all the noise. Maybe it's because I called you a girl and that just insulted you. Oh, I'm so sorry. Next week when we come back, probably what we're going to see for a milestone is we're going to see some eyes opening up. That's always the most exciting time, when it really feels like you get to know the puppies. Once their eyes are open, it seems always you have just the way to get to know them better. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take this little one and I'm going to give him some comfort and get him to settle down. And we hope you'll come back and join us next week. Thanks so much for watching.